take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. It's time!
We're back. The Church of MMA podcast. I'm Tabor Cragen.
And my name is Mason Knight. And today we are talking about episode 34, Munoz versus Edgar recap. After that, we jump into some MMA news, and then we talk about our preview show, Smith versus Rakic. So, Tabor, where do we begin with this?
I mean, we got to begin with our social media accounts. Guys, we are steadily growing. We just hit 100 followers on Instagram, Mason,
Sweet.
and it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, kind of. I'm not going to lie, guys. I've been neglecting a little bit, but I will be making sure I post stuff every single day from now on. We will not neglect you guys no more. It's not happening. So go follow us at The Church of MMA, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're posting funny memes. We're making you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, what was that? How many are we at? 83 subscribers?
subscribers on YouTube at the moment right now. And it has been a steady increase, since dropping clips and stuff. And we just want to give a shout out to everyone who is subscribed to our channel. And if you're not yet, please be sure to go and subscribe because we're real close to hitting that 100 mark.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It'd be nice.
We'll give you a little treat for you guys if we do hit that 100 mark. Just wait. Got to think of that first, but it will come. So, Munoz versus Edgar. We just got done rewatching this fight.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, what a main event.
Wow.
Maybe fight of the year candidate. I mean, I don't think it's better than Zhang versus Weili or maybe Hooker, Poirier, but
you got to have candidates.
Be up there.
And
yeah.
I think easily right now, top 3 best fights of the year.
Yeah, it's one of them.
And I'll tell you why. Strike after strike, these guys looked like they had infinite gas tanks. And at the end of that fight, I go, could have went to either guy.
Yeah.
Could have went to either guy. And, I know there is some controversy online. You were telling me about that. But, dude, that fight was so close. But it was fun.
Yeah,
it was so much fun to watch, man. Those two just throwing and banging and just the combinations Edgar was throwing, but then the leg kicks Pedro Munoz was throwing. It was just insane. The pace that these guys were putting out for 5 straight rounds. And, dude, hats off to Edgar, man, because, dude, people talking shit saying, oh, going down to bantamweight isn't the best decision for him. He looked phenomenal at that weight. And everyone, there were some talks on other podcasts too about we had talked about it off as we were watching it, how some people would say that his speed might, he might be slower than these guys. These bantamweight guys.
Yeah, everyone thought he was going to lose that speed advantage, but no, he looked faster than Pedro.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he wasn't hitting as hard as Pedro. I feel like Pedro was hitting I wouldn't say the cleaner, crisper strikes, but I'd say the more powerful ones for sure.
Yes, and that's where the debate lies for me. Because for Edgar, his combinations were landing, but when Pedro hit him, he hit him.
Yeah.
And they were more powerful shots. But again, you have to weigh both of those. And I think for a fight like this, it was so hard. Normally, I can look at a fight and go, okay, I scored it this way, I scored it this way. I had it 2-2 going into the 5th. I know some people might have had it 3-1 Pedro. And I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, how could you have a 3-1 Pedro? No, I could see how you had a 3-1 Pedro.
Absolutely.
It was so razor thin close. I mean, even the significant strikes in the first round, that might have been the hardest round to score of all time.
Yeah.
And then you look at the significant strikes, and they're both 23 and 23, and you go, oh, well, that makes so much sense why I had no idea wwho won that first round.
Yeah, first time I watched the fight, I gave Pedro the slight edge in that first round, but you could go back and forth. Really, anyone, just give that round to anybody. That round's a 10-10.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Mm-hmm. Round 2, I did have Frankie Edgar winning that round. He just looked so much faster in the 4 or 5 punch combinations. Just
and he was
the
landing
one power
more
punch.
that round. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Third round was close.
Oh, God, so close, man.
That was another close one.
I etched that out for Edgar. I had it 2-1 going into the 4th round. I thought Pedro stole it, especially in those last 30 seconds too. He's landing that big leg kick and following up on those combinations. I thought he stole round 4, but then round 5, I'm like, geez, as if this scoring couldn't get any harder. It was a coin flip for me.
Really, round 5?
Yeah, dude. It really. I mean, yes. Looking at the scorecard and stuff, Pedro might have edged that out.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Dude, it was so close that normally we talk a lot of shit about the judges, but for this instance here, I really can't because
I don't
it could have
envy
went
them
either
at
way.
all. I don't want that job.
Not with
not
this
for
fight.
fights like that.
Yeah.
For fights like that, I
As a judge with a fight like that, you got to almost look at that and go, please, someone finish someone, because I don't know who to pick as the winner in round 5, you know?
Exactly, yeah. How do you judge that fight round by round like that?
It's got to be
too
brutal.
Close. It's
That's
too
tough.
close. I did think that Pedro Munoz did do enough just to scrape out the 3 rounds. I thought Pedro scraped out the first. I thought he scraped out the 4th and the 5th for sure. 3rd, I even thought maybe he got the 3rd. So I kind of maybe agree with that judge who had it 4-1. But either way, I mean, a lot of those rounds are toss-ups. You could give it to either man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if this fight was a draw, you know, because I think you could argue for one for this fight just because how fucking close it was, man. And even on the numbers, like the numbers were so close. Some of those rounds, it was by like 2 or 3 punches. Yeah. Crazy.
Well, and some were literally dead even ties. I mean, the second round was the only round where I could easily give it to Edgar. All the other rounds, I was like, dude, it could go to either guy.
Yeah.
Could go to either guy, whatever you weigh more. I think that was the biggest thing with the judges. Whatever you weigh more, do you weigh more the combinations being landed, or do you look to the leg kicks, the powerful leg kicks, and then the powerful punches of Pedro? Mm-hmm. How do you measure that?
Mm-hmm. Or
and
the
I think
damage
that's one of those,
accumulation.
yeah, exactly.
I think Frankie did take a little more damage, but you know he was landing more. So.
But nonetheless, like, and we had talked about this off, you know, rewatching the fight as well. But I really pray that Dana looks at this fight and goes, "Oh, okay, both these guys are top contenders." And I was talking about this too. Like Edgar was coming in unranked, you know, because this is his debut at bantamweight. But you know, he won the fight. According to the judges' scorecard, you give him 5, but then you give Pedro 6. And then you give Pedro an elite guy. Yeah, he's lost 2 in a row. But, dude, that fight was so entertaining, so fun, that I think Dana's got to reward those kind of guys, especially with a fight like that, where it was just so close.
Yeah, agreed.
Coin flip, man.
Agreed. So, I mean, obviously, Frank Edgar's right in the mix now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue for him to go right to 5. Why not? I think Pedro Munoz is a top 5 competitor still. So,
yes,
you know, even if they move Frankie to 4 or something like that and drop Corey Sandhagen, which probably maybe undeserved, but if it could happen, I've seen worse.
Yeah, it could.
I mean, who does a Frank Edgar fight next? I mean, obviously after a fight like that, he's gonna have to take some time off. Took a lot of damage, so he could be 6 months down the road.
Cody Garbrandt's dropping down, so that fight's not going to happen because he's dropping down to fight for the flyweight championship against Davidson Figueiredo. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, maybe you throw him a Corey Sandhagen. I mean, that's really the only guy because Aljamain Sterling's gonna fight for the belt against Petr Yan. And then Marlon Moraes already has a fight.
Yeah, that's Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Corey Sandhagen.
So really, everyone above Frankie right now is all tied up.
Jose Aldo. I know he's coming off a loss. I know he's coming off a loss, but he was the number 1 contender.
Yeah, but how many times have they fought already?
Yeah, I know. Well, they've
twice.
That's
I think
true
they
in the
fought twice already.
Yeah. But dude, you make that trilogy if they have fought twice.
At bantamweight?
You make that trilogy? Yeah, dude, that'd be fun. I'm down to see it.
I mean, I'd watch it.
I'm down to see it, man. That would be a fun fight. That's the one word to describe that fight for me.
I say Jimmy Rivera or like Rafael Alonso or Dominic Cruz. That's who I want to see.
Dude, why the fuck does Edgar want to... Like, Edgar's, you know, he's getting older. Let's not pretend. He looked phenomenal. Looked great. Definitely should be in the UFC. Not saying any of that about Edgar at all. But I'm just saying, like, realistically in his career, he's getting older. He's had a lot of fights.
Only got a few more fights,
yeah. So, like, why fight a number 10 guy? What is that going to do for his career? Even if it is a legend like Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, but even a win over a Dominic Cruz could catapult you into a title shot right away, I would feel like.
Potentially, yeah. I mean,
guess
he looking at this list
for the belt
here,
a few months ago.
But again, what if Marlon Moraes goes out and puts on a phenomenal performance? So
against
Sandhagen. So I guess you are right. I guess he could fight someone and then be the next guy in line after Marlon, but...
Yeah, well, that fight's probably going to happen here pretty soon, actually. So maybe the winner of that fight fights a Frankie Edgar.
Hey, I'd like to see that.
Marlon Moraes probably won't fight Frankie Edgar because I know these guys are main sparring partners. I mean, they both train with fucking Mark Henry. I can't believe I forgot his name for a second. So I don't know. That fight probably doesn't happen, but I wouldn't mind if it did. Like, who knows? You know, they do stuff like this. Like ATT fighters fight each other all the time. So who knows? This division's a little log jammed at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this fight between Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan needs to happen before anything else can even be talked about.
It has to happen. It should have already been confirmed. We should have already gotten a date on this fight. It is appalling and ridiculous. And I'm normally on Dana's side. I mean, Dana, I think, is one of the most brilliant minds in sports history, period. Yeah. Whether or not you like the guy or not, I really do. I think he's a brilliant mind. But, dude, Get this fight going. This is the fight that Aljamain Sterling deserves, and it's the fight the fans want to see.
It's the only fight we want to see.
Well, and here's the thing: like, there's so many announcements on so many great fights coming up, which again the UFC does a phenomenal job with. This fight needs to be announced. Yes. When are we getting this fight? I don't care if it's a main event on a fight night. We need to see this.
I mean, especially now that we're scheduling fights out 3, 4, 5 months in advance now. Like for the first time in a few months. So MMA News that, like, fuck, we're finally getting fights scheduled out ahead of time for once. And it's nice. It's nice because now we know for sure Vegas is a lockdown. Like this shit, even if the pandemic continues on for another 6 months to a year, which don't be shocked if it does. Hopefully it doesn't, but don't be shocked if it does. If that happens, at least we'll still have fights. So either way.
And again, they're doing their due diligence too, and just testing these fighters and doing everything that they need to do to keep this, keep the ship rowing or whatever.
Yeah, just keep the fights going. Just keep the fans entertained for once. Yeah. All right. So good on Frankie Edgar. The legend still's got it. He proved all the haters wrong. So congratulations.
And thank you both to both those boys for such an entertaining fight. I mean, what a way, because in all reality, that was not the most stacked card, but it was a great card. Great card though. It was one of those sleeper cards where you look at it on paper and you go, if you're a casual, especially if you're a casual, you're like, I don't know any of these people except the main event. But then you went through the card and every single fight was first round finish, second round finish, and you're like, damn, this is entertaining. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, this whole card. So should we jump into the rest of the card?
Yeah, well, let's why not? Yeah. So OSB fell out. That fight got pulled. So what was the new co-main? It was Rodriguez versus Piccolo, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know that guy's name. I should have wrote him down, but who cares? He got knocked out in the first round. So
yeah, he did. Percino,
a Polish guy, another jacked Polish guy. They just are churning out light heavyweights like crazy.
Yeah, they are.
So congratulations to that guy. That was a vicious knee in the clinch. Or no, it was an elbow in the clinch.
Well, and then he's on his back and he just drops that fist from hell and just puts his lights out. It was great performance.
It was real technical because the second he got that plum clinch, that guy had no fucking chance.
Nope.
Dude, he was so tight. He was like just trying to throw body shots. Dude, if you're throwing body shots in the plum clinch, like I think who did he do that? Anderson Silva did that to Chris Lieben in his UFC debut.
That's
like
not
that
fun.
should like after that fight, everyone should have known. Okay, don't throw body shots like that in the clinch.
Right.
Like, he did it anyways. Same thing happened. I'm not shocked, but congrats on that guy. I've never seen that guy really before. That was kind of my first fight really seeing him. So
same. And he got bumped up to a co-main event too. So
great way to get your name out there, get some fans for yourself. So hopefully he gets a nice big fight after a great finish. So I think I picked him. Yeah, I picked him third round KO, but it was in the first, so I got 2 points. Oh, and Edgar, I did take him unanimous, so that was 3 points there. Yep. So, okay. Agapova and Shauna Dobson.
Well, we should talk about that. We should at least give a little shout out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Austin Hubbard.
Quick.
Yep, Austin Hubbard and Joe Selecki.
Yeah, Selecki.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So Joe Selecki pretty much wanted to do, remember what Max Rofskovs, the guy that Austin Hubbard fucked up really bad and got cut by the UFC just last week,
Yes,
actually.
he did.
So.
Which, that sucks for that kid.
Yeah, it
sucks. It is what it is.
It sucks. It is what it is, exactly. But Selecki kind of wanted to implement the same game plan Max Rofskovs had, but actually found success because he was willing to strike with the guy. He actually has really good striking skills, got into the clinch situation, took his back, then just implemented his will, just drained him for a few minutes.
Well, and when he was, when Austin Hubbard's standing up and Joe's got that body lock on him, he just made easy work of it. I mean, you could see how calm demeanor he had on his face, and he's just working it. And you knew, like I knew, he kept switching, going back and forth from his right arm to left arm, and I go, eventually this thing's going to sink, dude.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it did. And it was a masterful submission. I had a lot of fun with this fight.
It was a fast tap.
Yes, it was.
The cameras didn't even see it. Maybe they changed angles. I didn't see it. But I don't know if I didn't know if it was under or not. But either way, dude, that was a very fast tap. So elite squeeze, very strong squeeze. So congrats to him, man. Joe Selecki, shout out to that guy.
Absolutely.
He's a name to watch for sure. So Agapova, Shauna Dobson.
Wow.
This shocked me.
Whoo! And if you are a betting man,
you lost some money.
Well, no, but if you bet on the dog, she was a plus 800. Dobson was.
Oh shit!
That's a huge. You put $100 on this chick, you would have won take back with your bet $900.
Oh my God,
That's
crazy.
insane.
That's crazy.
What a night that would have been. You throw her in a parlay and you hit that parlay. It's insane. You win $2,000 on a $100 bet just having this chick in it. Crazy.
I would have never put any money on her.
No, of course not. I don't think most would. But again, that's why I love this sport, because Agapova, on paper, should have won.
Yeah.
But I mean, hats off to the heart of Dobson, man, because she weathered through the storm in that first round, and Agapova was gassed.
Yeah, well, she was bursting, dude. She was blowing her loads for 5 minutes straight, and
Insane.
it never stopped. It never stopped. Blasting her constantly on the ground, crazy scrambles and transitions. When she came out in the second round, she couldn't walk.
No.
She couldn't throw. She just went for a takedown immediately. It kind of worked, kind of failed, got back up, and just got finished.
Well,
oh, my goodness.
She was so gassed that at the end of that fight, they had to help her up on a stool. That's how much she expended in that first round. Which is insane. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like Agapova, she's going to learn from this. She's going to come back. I think she could be a potential contender in the flyweight division, unquestionably. Those those kicks in general, even the head kicks. I mean, Dobson was lucky those fuckers were missing, because they had some steam behind them, man.
Yeah, and she's so long and lanky.
She
can hit you from distance, and if she's learned how to just control herself,
and just a little bit, don't blow the gas tank, and a little bit better conditioning, and she's fine, man. I don't take too much.
Striker,
Yeah.
If she took her time, she probably would have pieced her up for 2-3 rounds.
And one UD.
Yeah.
But hats off to Dobson, nonetheless. She got the job done. Brilliant performance.
Yeah, and it kind of leads into this next fight as well, because it's like another first round blow your load and then get finished.
Well, but dude, I mean, Dwight Grant kind of had a case for that fight to be stopped at some point.
I mean, I almost kind of thought, like, oh shit, are they going to stop this?
Yeah.
Because he almost could have, but Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod, oh my goodness, he did everything he possibly could. And then when he gets back up, the next punch he threw cracked him and wobbled Grant. Yep. It was crazy.
So I want to talk about a little debate here. So when we see a fight like this, and we see, this fight definitely could have been stopped, right? And there's always this debate in the MMA community about these types of fights. Should they be stopped early? Do we protect the fighters? Do we let this fight continue on? I'll kind of give you my argument on it. Initially, when I watched it the first time, I go, how in the hell is this ref not calling this fight? I was getting a little irritated, but I watched it back, okay? Because, it was 2 minutes. It was easy to watch back. The strikes that he was throwing were not landing flush. He was still intelligently defending himself. He did get hit with a couple big ones, but he kept moving and he kept trying to defend. It was never a situation where he was just sitting there for 45 seconds getting the crap kicked out of him, I mean, he was definitely getting beat up in that scenario, but I never thought it was to a point. The first time initially, I was like, stop the fight. What are you doing? And I think I picked Rodriguez maybe. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on it? I mean, do you think that fight should have been stopped?
No, I'm glad it didn't. I'm really glad it didn't. I mean that you could have argued that's exactly what Anthony Smith wanted. Remember how that was that big controversy, Anthony Smith and Glover Teixeira, and then even Anthony Smith said himself in some interviews, man, just give me the opportunity. That's all I wanted, and he did get it. And this is one of those fights where it's like, once you get your opportunity to come back, this is exactly what can happen.
And I think, but we also have to look at both fights, and we have to go Anthony Smith, that was in the 4th and the 5th round, where, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're getting your ass kicked for 3.5, 4 rounds.
Yeah, and a broken orbital bone and your fucking eyes swelled shut and shit. So.
And I think Alex Smith is one of the greatest people of all time. So, or Anthony Smith, excuse me, Alex Smith, the quarterback. Anthony Smith is one of the greatest human beings, in the sport.
Guy.
But, with a fight like this, though, it was in the first round. It was within the first 2 minutes. So you do have to kind of give some leeway and go, unless it's just a cold clock knockout, I'm okay with this. Initially, I was irritated watching it when I could, because I didn't get to watch this live. But after I kind of went back and watched it again, I go, okay. I thought it was fine. I thought it was an appropriate thing for the ref to continue on with that fight. But it is an interesting thing in the MMA community, because some people could have very well said that fight should have been stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So where do you draw the line? It's a tough job, dude.
Yeah.
It's a tough job to be a ref.
Yeah.
It is. Like, people don't give them enough credit. It's not easy.
Yeah. And Dwight Grants is one of these guys that is known for his knockout power in his hands. So it's like the fact that it only took one really nice, clean shot for him to drop Rodriguez like that. Just, it's wild, man. And for him to survive, like, hats off to Rodriguez. What a crazy chin that man has, because most people get flatlined by that. So shout out to him. I was going to take points from that fight, but because it was not the original opponent, we're not going to do points for that one. And,
that's right.
Because you picked Sato as the original opponent he was supposed to fight. Didn't happen. So either way.
Why did that fight get pulled? I forget.
I don't know. I didn't hear any news. I didn't even know that
Injury
fight.
or something like that.
Yeah, when I saw he was fighting someone else, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know Dwight Grant was on that card.
Oh, no, I picked Rodriguez for the other fight. There's 2 Rodriguez's on this
right.
card. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, time for some MMA news, Mason.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, everyone knows this. This is the biggest news. It happened right after we dropped our last episode, of course.
Literally,
So,
I think an hour or 2 after we dropped our episode last week. And we're just like, we were even texting back and forth. We're like, are you kidding me?
Right.
They could not have dropped this 2 hours earlier.
Right. Yeah, honestly.
Insane.
So we're a week late, but everyone knows this. John Jones vacated his light heavyweight belt, and they already made the new fight. Dominic Reyes, Jan Blachowicz, for the next pay-per-view on ESPN, UFC 253, in a little over a month. I think 5 weeks, something like that. Can't fucking wait for that.
But both these guys were in shape, probably
Yeah.
in some sort of a training camp.
Oh,
And
yeah.
When you get the opportunity, when you get the call from Dana White and you say, hey, title shot, two guys, you're going to fight Jan or you're going to fight Dominic.
Yeah.
You're going to take that opportunity 9 times out of 10 to be the champs.
Yeah. So
You got to stay in shape.
Yep, Dominic Reyes went on Ariel Helwani's podcast last week and was talking to him about the lead up to everything. He pretty much said that it was John Jones or Jan. They were waiting for John Jones. They didn't know what John Jones was going to do. They wanted to make that Dominic Reyes rematch. John Jones didn't want it. Obviously, he's moving up to heavyweight. He vacated the belt. I'm just happy that Dominic Reyes is the one they were considering, because I really did want to see that rematch. It's not happening now, but that was the fight to make for the light heavyweight division, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they went in that direction. Good on the UFC for that, to try to pressure John Jones a little bit, but he's moving up to heavyweight. And I guess
we gotta talk about
we gotta talk about this, because essentially Dana came out and said that Ngannou is for sure next for Stipe.
Yep.
So
well, that's why we got to bring it up.
Yeah.
Who's John gonna fight?
I don't know. I think it could be 6 months. I wouldn't be shocked if John takes the next 6 months to build some muscle. Yep. Remember how jacked he was before he came back when he was doing that bodybuilding shit? Mm-hmm. Maybe he wants to do the same. Maybe he wants to be a thick 240 jacked heavyweight. But why?
That's a scary man.
Why,
though.
dude? Be like Stipe. Use your speed and your length and all that. Just go in there 230, 225 if you want. Fuck it. And you'd fuck some dudes up. I really think so. Yeah. Who knows what he's thinking? But I don't know. I think he waits. I don't think he just fights a top 5.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I mean, who's he going to fight? Derek Lewis? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
I'm good. I don't really want to see that.
Yeah, well, who's top 5 in heavyweight right now? I got, Francis Curtis, Daniel Jairzinho. I mean, you should do DC. That would be it.
Well, Curtis and Lewis are already fighting each other. So, and that, okay, so that's what I wanted to bring up to you. DC? That's what I wanted to bring up to you.
That would be it, like you were saying last week.
Dana White is calling DC up and being like, hey, they're at least offering DC this fight. I don't think DC takes it. I think he is retired. I think he's done. I'm just going to say that first and foremost. But I know Dana White is at least calling him. Because, dude, right after that Stipe loss, you got Dana talking about, well, he might not retire.
Yeah.
He goes, and that's just me talking. He goes, that's just me knowing DC and knowing the competitor that he is. But, bro, this makes sense, because guess what? If DC, holy fuck, how crazy would this be? Okay, just hear me out. Hear me out, okay? DC goes out there in, whatever. If he pulls off an insane feat and beats John Jones, he avenges that win, right? He gets the next shot at the heavyweight championship and then goes out there and fights Stipe again for the 4th time. Because I'm telling you right now, which, again, I don't think DC is coming back. But if DC were to go out there and beat John Jones, who has never lost a fight in his life, how does Stipe not go, oh, this guy doesn't deserve another fight with me? Mm-hmm. How do you not say that? Every single fan would be like, sorry, Stipe, even though you got best 2 out of 3 and you are the consensus greatest heavyweight of all time, this guy just beat John Jones, yeah. So he's now the number 1 contender. And if you're still the heavyweight champ, you got to fight him again, right?
Maybe, or Stipe retires and they do something else, but who knows?
Because Stipe's fighting Ngannou no matter what. But here's the thing: Stipe's got to beat Ngannou too. So
yeah.
he's still got that tall order in front of him. Made work of him the first time, all 5 rounds, dominated him.
Yeah.
And I'll preface that again, but that was 3-4 years ago. Keep in mind, folks, 3-4 years ago. A lot of things can change. People's games evolve. They elevate. Ngannou's been on a tear. But Stipe could very well do the same thing to him. But that's another thing.
Yeah.
I am excited nonetheless, though, that Jon Jones is at heavyweight.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think this is exactly how it goes. Everything you just said, I mean, I would love to see that, but really that's fantasy.
It is
fantasy.
Yeah, it's
that's
totally,
that's like fan fiction scripture. That's
it's like Elseworlds, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I would love that to happen, but let's be real. I really think DC is done.
And I'm fine with that too, man.
Yeah, I think Francis fights Stipe. Whoever wins that fight fights Jon Jones next. I think Jon Jones just takes his time. If it's a year, it's a year. He doesn't give a fuck.
Nope.
He does not give a fuck. He will fight for a world championship. His first fight at heavyweight.
And that's such a good, that's a good way to look at it, Tabor, because in all reality, that's all Jon Jones has to do. He can wait out the Stipe versus Ngannou heavyweight fight and then fight the next guy, because no one's going to sit around and go, oh, what? Jon Jones gets an immediate heavyweight. Dude,
it's Jon Jones.
He's the GOAT. He's the greatest fighter of all time, period. End of discussion. Despite his little picogram bullshit, whatever, he is the great. Him and Habib right now. So it's like, how do you not give Jon Jones that immediate shot?
This just hit my brain. I don't know why. This might be dumber than him versus DC for the third time. Jon Jones, Brock Lesnar.
That could be
comes
possible.
back only if he could do steroids.
There's one other person that no one's thinking of, but he just got back into the USADA test pool.
Yeah,
and that
but
is Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Yep, yeah.
And that fight should have happened, 6 years ago?
Well, here's the deal with that one. Anthony said he's coming back to 205.
How in the fuck? Dude, I saw a picture of him 2 years ago. That dude was 315 pounds.
He says he's 230 right now, jacked.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
He cut that much weight already.
Yep, he's already 230 jacked. He can make 205. Said 100%.
Well, shit. What do I know?
Yep. He wants to fight for that belt, dude. I think he said the only way he fights a Francis. So obviously, I think he's thinking a heavyweight move eventually. Maybe just fights 2-3 times at light heavyweight, gets the belt, and then maybe moves up, uses the belt to get a title fight at heavyweight, something like that, which would be crazy because it's totally possible, especially now that Jon Jones is gone at light heavyweight.
Anthony Rumble could waltz in there, fight 2-3 guys, and then boom, he's got the title. Even 2 guys. I think he needs.
He comes in, Thiago Santos right off the bat. Anthony Johnson, Thiago Santos right off the bat. Winner of that fight is getting a fucking title shot at 205.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And he's 36 right now too. So he's still got 4 years if he were to get in right now.
Yeah, well, he retired literally in his prime.
I know,
Walked away. He was the second best.
31.
He was the third best 205er in the world. No one, he could beat anyone in the world other than DC and Jon Jones.
I think that was the biggest letdown in UFC history for me personally as a fan, when he just said, I'm done. And I go, I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget where I was. I was at the pizza shop, ironically enough, and he goes, I'm retiring. I'm done. And I'm like, is this April Fool's? What the hell is this? Is this some practical joke? Because I could not believe the man was retiring in his prime, but I guess he fell out of love with the sport.
Yeah,
And
that'll do it.
Yep. And if you don't have that fire, then go do you. You made your money. But if he's got that fire back, man, I want to see him fight.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see him fight.
I cannot wait for fucking Anthony Johnson to come back. I'm just so glad but why now, dude? You could have used this whole pandemic for fucking USADA testing. You could be back already, brother. Why is he doing it
maybe
now?
He's just making sure he's in good shape. He wants to make sure when he comes back, he's going to, win his first fight and then fight for a belt.
I'm just going to blame Rona. I bet you it freaked him out and fucking postponed it every
it probably
6
did
months.
a little bit.
It's freaked the whole
Not only
fucking
that,
world
but the guy
out,
loves weed too, so he probably, you know what I mean?
True. Very, very true. He's hanging out with Mike Tyson all the time and shit like that. So, yeah. Yeah, shout out to Anthony. Okay, so did you see Bellator 244 on Friday? I did not watch it.
I watched it.
I watched the highlights. I saw Bader get finished. That shocked me, actually, because I had no idea who this fucking Nemkov guy was.
I gotta be honest, though. Bader didn't look bad. I thought it was a very competitive fight. He looked good. He just got caught.
Well, what round?
You know who needs to retire? Roy Nelson. He is a walking human punching bag. Dude, I just and I gotta be honest, every single time, he does impress me with the fact that his cardio is still there, because you look at him and you go, dude, this guy's gonna last 2 minutes, he's gonna gas his tank. He fought 3 hard rounds, but those 3 hard rounds he got completely dominated and got outpunched 4 strikes to 1. each round. And I'm
Really?
just yeah, dude, it was awful. It was awful. And like whatever, like do whatever you got to do. But Roy Nelson's like 42, 43 years old. At some point, dude, hang up the gloves.
Bro, that man beat
I don't want to see
Kimbo.
it. I know he did. Yeah, season
man
10 of The
beat
Ultimate Fighter.
Kimbo
He laid
Slice.
on top of him the whole time.
Yeah.
I was
he
so
could fight
pissed.
for as long as he wants to when he's on that upper
Then he beat
echelon.
Schaub too that same year.
That was
Yeah.
so funny. Yeah, that's crazy. I did not see Bader losing that fight. I had no idea who this Nemkov guy is.
Yeah, he's still the heavyweight champ though.
Oh yeah,
in Bellator.
Yeah, but we got Fabrizio coming, but so
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows?
Buckle
Fabrizio
up,
still
babe.
hasn't signed.
Yeah.
He still hasn't signed with anybody yet.
Oh, he didn't?
No. He
Oh, I
says
really
he's
thought he'd
still
make the
just-
move to Bellator.
He's testing the waters, bro.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just watch another one. He goes to bare knuckle boxing.
Oh,
He's a jiu-jitsu guy.
That'd be wild. I'm good. I don't want to see him bare knuckle box, man. Go to Bellator. Dude, I need Bellator to be signing more guys like this because like it's forcing me to tune in on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Or at least record it. You know, I
Yeah.
work swing shift, but at least record it and watch them later on.
Yeah.
And skip through it. Because like, dude, when you get these elite fighters and you're signing these elite fighters, I like to watch them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do, man.
Absolutely. We didn't talk about that, dude. We still have not talked about this. Paige Van Zandt signed with bare knuckle boxing. I
Yeah.
didn't put this in my notes, but I mentioned bare knuckle
Yeah,
boxing.
you were talking
I
a
gotta
lot
bring
of
it.
shit on Twitter. And first and foremost, Tabor runs our social media pages, okay? Because that is not me talking
I said
shit.
one thing.
You called her a dumbass.
Because she is one, brother.
Wow.
Why the fuck?
That is some
Well,
strong words.
in reality, I'm the dumbass because,
Right.
like, she's making millions
She's
of dollars.
making, yeah, exactly. And we're sitting here in a mic just,
not making
bullshitting.
shit. Yeah. Not making shit. So, yeah,
but-
in reality, I'm the dumbass. So.
But man, do I think it's a strange move for Paige Van Zandt?
Yes, absolutely, dude.
I
No one
don't-
saw that.
And like, you have nothing to prove, Paige. Like, you don't. Like, yeah, okay, you weren't an elite top 10 fighter in the UFC, but you don't have anything to prove to anyone, like being like, you're the toughest broad out there.
Well,
Like,
and really think she was known for her
don't.
ground game. I felt like her ground
Right.
game was more elite than her striking, and now she's like just boxing.
and it sucks.
With no gloves.
Yeah, dude, and it sucks because I'd much rather see her at Bellator. I think she can be a contender over at Bellator.
I
Because
agree.
their women's divisions are not as strong as UFC. I mean, plain cut and dry. You know, so
the
I think
cheddar,
she,
dude.
I know. Well, she signed a multi-million-dollar deal.
So crazy, dude.
Which
Where
I
are
mean,
they
if
getting
you're-
this money?
I don't
They have mob connections or
Yeah, they
something
do.
like that.
That's what I was thinking first
It's
and
all
foremost.
dirty.
I'm like, yeah.
They're selling
it's-
cocaine
yeah.
at the events and shit. Like,
Low key, just don't tell anyone. We got to pay these fighters somehow.
this
Shit.
is the only way they could afford Paige. That's so funny. But yeah, that was crazy. I did not see that coming.
No, nor did I.
So I guess next piece, MMA news. Sugar Sean O'Malley has finally broke his silence since he got finished just last week.
Yep.
252. It's not what I wanted to hear. I'm going to be real. I was kind of hoping he'd be a little more humble, but pretty much he just said Cheeto still sucks. I'm way better than him. He got lucky. It's not what you want to hear from your future superstar. Especially when you're coming off of injury that was caused by the opponent. Like, come on, bro. It's not exactly what I want to be hearing.
Okay, well, here's the thing. You lose credibility with me when you say things like that because guess what? That was a completely legal strike
Yeah.
that he landed. And it's
he didn't
due
get
to Cheeto
lucky.
Vera's striking.
Yeah,
He didn't
it wasn't
get lucky.
luck.
It was not a lucky strike.
Mm-hmm.
He landed that flush clean and then finished you, So, I like Sean O'Malley, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna
I was
talk shit
super,
about him.
I was super impressed with Cheeto Vera.
Absolutely.
And I'm not taking anything away from him just because we're on the whole Sugar Sean O'Malley hype train.
Mm-hmm.
Cheeto Vera is the real deal, man, and quite questionably could have won his last fight before Sugar Sean. I mean, it was a real close fight. It's slipping my mind who he fought, but gosh dang it, who was it?
It was Song Yadong.
Thank you, Song
But
Yadong. That's right.
and remember, that was at featherweight, so it doesn't count. Technically, he's on a 7-fight win streak in bantamweight.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Cheeto finished you, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy as that.
It doesn't take any stock away from you. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you're not an elite contender
Yeah, you're
in
still
the UFC.
you're gonna
like
get
you
a
are.
ranked fight when
Yeah.
you come back.
But I mean, you gotta take your L's.
Yeah.
You gotta take your L's. That's what a true champ does. Man.
Look at Ben Askren. He probably took that loss better than anyone in the fucking entire world could
that-
ever take that loss.
That is exactly why Ben Askren is still working. Mm-hmm. I mean,
he's
consistently.
a big name.
He's
still.
a huge name. I mean,
Yes.
every single week he's on someone's MMA podcast doing something or working at some event.
And when DC can't fill in, Ben Askren does on Ariel Helwani.
But I love it. It's because Ben Askren just, he owned up to it. He is who he is. And, he didn't make excuses. You can't make excuses. Like, dude, And I don't have a problem with the guy saying that, you know, I feel like I'm the better fighter than the guy, even though he beat me. But the fact that he said he got lucky,
it's
not fair. It's not fair.
It's
like,
not.
You gotta own up to it and say, yeah, he beat me that night. He was the better guy, but I feel like I'm the better fighter. I can respect that a lot more than just being like, oh, the guy got lucky. He sucks. You know, just because of my injury. It's like it doesn't sit well with fans. Like when you do that. Mm-hmm. And again, like we've had high praise for Sean O'Malley this whole time on this podcast, but dude, I gotta call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, be a little humble. And he posted that Instagram picture. He's like humbled, but it was like him with like half naked chicks, and there was like fucking weed everywhere. So it's like it was like him just like making fun of it all. So you know, he'll be back. We'll see. So apparently, there were no broken bones. The X-rays did come back for that, but they're waiting on MRI because they're just waiting for his swelling to go down.
Well, it looks like it was just the calf kick just landed perfectly and took out that I forget the nerve, the name of the nerve, but it happened. The same thing happened to Henry Cejudo against Marlon Moraes in that first round.
Yeah, Michael Chandler versus that one guy who beat him, Brett Primus. Yeah, it happens.
It happens, man.
It happens.
It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. So,
as Max Holloway would say.
This absolutely. We need to chop that one day.
Well, I know. That's what I was going to say.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, brother. That's what he says. It is what it is, brother.
Okay, so I got to talk this fight first. Dustin Poirier versus Tony Ferguson is a fucking real possibility. Yes, it might happen. Tony has been talking to, I think it was Ariel Helwani just a few weeks ago, actually. Pretty much said, like, you know, I didn't need surgery after the broken orbital bone. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready. I'm just out here training by myself, and I'm willing to fight. But again, this year, it's kind of shocked me. I was thinking he'd maybe want to take a little time off, but fuck no. He's just a savage he is. He wants to fight. Can't wait for that one. That's the fight to make, I think. Dana even said that's a real possibility. That might be next for Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's the smartest choice. You got number 2 against number 3. Mm-hmm. You know? And you got Justin Gaethje, number 1, interim champ, fighting the champ.
Mm-hmm. And Tony's resume beforehand is deserving of a number one contender still.
Yes. And see, that's the thing. This is what we have wanted for years in the lightweight division. Number 1 contenders fighting number 1 contenders. Yes. And not letting some Irishman just come in, you know, coming off a loss and getting the best fight ever and then beating a Donald, which we love Donald Cerrone. Okay, we love him, but he's not a top 5 guy right now in the lightweight division. And it's no disrespect. It's just on paper. He's not. So Conor doesn't deserve the immediate shot, and he doesn't deserve to leapfrog everyone else. This is what we have wanted for years in the lightweight division, and it's what hopefully we're finally getting. Thank God for the MMA purists. We're finally getting number 1 against number 2, and then interim versus champ, and then number 2 versus number 3. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, well, who the fuck else is Tony going to fight? If it's not Conor, it's got to be a Dustin Poirier. He ain't fighting Dan Hooker. He's not fighting Charles Oliveira. He's not fighting Paul Felder. He's not fighting anyone else down that fucking list. It's Tony fucking Ferguson. Yep. He deserves a big fight.
Well, the thing with Conor right now, and with Jorge Masvidal coming off that loss with Kamaru Usman, just make that fight.
Yeah.
Just make that fight for the BMF belt. Why not?
Make it.
It's the fight to make. It's, you know, Conor only wants these super mega fights, which I get. He's at a point in his career where he has $300 million in offshore accounts. You know, like of course, he only wants to have the big fights. That is the biggest fight in UFC history right there, you know, for all the casuals.
Yeah.
And not only that, but let's be realistic. The MMA purists, like, as long as it's not for a real belt, as long as it's for the BMF belt, I'm fine with that fight. Why not sign that one? You know how astronomically huge that fight would be, Tabor?
Oh, massive, dude, biggest fight ever. I really think that could be the biggest fight ever. It's bigger than Conor. Fucking Diaz.
I think it would do like 3.5 to 4 million buys, man.
Absolutely. Leon Edwards keeps on calling George out.
Yeah, I know.
That's not fucking happening.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. He's not going to fight you. You're fucking JV level compared to him. I'm sorry. Like, you're elite. Not skill-wise. Listen, let me finish.
Yeah.
Skill-wise, he's not JV. He's varsity for fucking sure. Yeah. But popularity and hype-wise, you're fucking JV, dude. Like, no one gives a shit about you right now. You haven't fought in over a year. You declined the World Championship fight. It's like you're not getting the Jorge Masvidal fight. I'm sorry. You deserve a big fight. You're going to get your Gilbert Burns fight, dude. And if it's not Gilbert Burns, it's a title shot. You're going to get it. Yeah. But you're not getting Jorge.
Yeah. And as far as the JV reference for that specifically, I do agree with, just because he is not the most popular guy. I think skill level wise, I think he would very well go out there and beat Jorge Masvidal.
And he's a deserving for just an immediate title shot. I don't think he needs to fight anyone. Nor
do I. I mean, not realistically. I mean, it does get a little. Well, Colby Covington's fighting Tyron Woodley now, and then you got Leon Edwards, and I wouldn't even be opposed to Leon Edwards versus Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, I think that's the fight they make because I don't know how soon Kamaru's going to want to fight. He's one of these guys that likes to fight maybe once every 8 months, 8 to 6 months, around then. Mm-hmm. So who knows? Gilbert wants to fight every 2 weeks.
Of course.
And so Gilbert and Leon could get made for a main event here real soon.
I think that's the fight. I think that's literally the number one contender fight, and the next guy just fights Kamaru Usman. I think it's fair is fair.
Fair is fair. Even though Gilbert did get that fight, I mean, but Gilbert
might
want to
take it because of COVID, which sucks. But yeah, Gilbert might.
He might not want to take it. He might not want to because he was saying that he already is the next guy. Dana told him so.
Yeah, and that's a very good possibility too. He is the number one guy, unquestionably. And it's not like he pulled out of an injury or he pulled out because of whatever this or that or personal issues. It was strictly because of COVID-19, which in these circumstances, like, what are you going to do? Punish the guy for getting COVID-19? He can't help it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to just having Gilbert take the shot either. Yeah. Especially since Leon Edwards turned down the fight, which I kind of go back and forth on that because I get Leon Edwards' side. I would want a full training camp if I'm taking on one of the greatest welterweights of all time. So do you really blame the guy? No. But in these crazy times, in these situations, you kind of just have to take what you can get.
When you get offered a world title fight, you got to take it. Yeah. Like, dude, Michael Bisping got his world title fight on literally 2 weeks' notice, I think.
Yeah, and he went out there and won.
And he went out and won. I mean, that's like, it doesn't happen a lot. I think that's like probably the only time it happened. Maybe it's happened to others. Who knows? But it's like, you got to take those chances, dude, because they just don't come that often, especially now that they're in a pandemic. So it just sucks for Leon because he's stuck in limbo. And there's only one name coming out of his mouth, and that is George Masvidal, and it's just not happening. So I feel bad for the guy. I really do. Okay, last fight we got to talk about before we move on to our preview show. Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson was announced for UFC 256 in December, possibly Fight Island. We know 253 will be on Fight Island, so it will be big cage for those light heavyweights and Israel, so big for them. Who knows? That's a big fight. Yeah. But Megan Anderson has no chance.
Well, that's kind of the thing. I mean, that's kind of the thing. And if Amanda gets into any trouble, which she won't because she is the scariest woman on the face of the planet, the nicest, but also the fucking scariest woman ever. If she does find trouble on the feet, all you got to do is take Megan Anderson down.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, it's Amanda Nunes. She's brilliant on the ground. She's got tremendous jiu-jitsu. So it's like, well, I know. I think she's so dominant.
She's so dominant everywhere. She's the most well-rounded woman in MMA, period. She's the greatest. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Valentina right
comes,
behind her.
Yeah, comes real close to that. But again, Valentina has lost to her twice. But nonetheless, I mean, she is much smaller than her. She's fighting at flyweight, and Amanda's fighting at 145. Featherweight.
She's big.
So, I mean, geez.
She's big.
I get it at the same time. But yeah. So but still, here's the thing with Amanda Nunes. She's so dominant that I gotta tune in.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing.
It's watching history. It's like watching Mike Tyson knock a dude out in 30 seconds. Like you knew it was gonna happen. Yep. But you're gonna watch every time.
Yeah, it's not like it's boring where you're like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna buy it because she's gonna dominate. It's like, no, she's gonna dominate, so I gotta tune in. Because it's like the day that she loses, my jaw will be dropped. Like, I won't believe it. I'll be like, are we living in some weird alternate universe? What the fuck? Did I go through like a time portal or something? Because like, again, like she is just so dominant. I can't wait for this. I think it's a great December fight for what you can put in front of Amanda Nunes, you know? Like,
yeah, Megan, she didn't have to take a fight after that last fight.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't. But I think it's great she's defending her 145-pound belt. I mean, it took forever for her to get that first title defense with Felicia Spencer. Now it finally came, and now we're getting back-to-back title defenses. They needed to build this division. Dude, if you just keep Amanda Nunes churning out title defenses at 145 specifically, especially then she could eat, she could be a freaking great mother to her child. She could do whatever the fuck she wants. She doesn't have to be on a strict diet to cut 20 pounds and make 135. Dude, this will be great for her career and the UFC altogether because you could put there's some big girls that fight MMA, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We just don't know them because the UFC is not signing these girls yet, which is shocking me. you need to build this division for Amanda because this is the future for Amanda for her to crank out title defenses and make her money.
I really wish too that that whole Cyborg situation could have been handled better from both parties. One from the coaches, completely egregious, should not have done that.
Yeah.
But I just wish altogether, because I would have loved to see that rematch. I think Cyborg was the closest thing to potentially beating Amanda out there, and we will never see that fight again. And it does. It breaks my heart in a lot of ways because, damn, that first fight was so much fun.
So much fun. So much fun. Never is going to happen. No. They might fight in a parking lot one day, and hopefully it gets on camera, but who knows?
Hey, I tune in.
Me too. Me as well. All right, Mason, preview show time. Anthony Smith, Alexander Rakic. I don't know if this is on ESPN or if it's an ESPN Plus exclusive.
It's an ESPN Plus is what this is saying here.
You know what they want? They want that subscriber money because this is a great fucking card. They're hiding it behind that paywall. They want that money. Oh, my goodness. So the co-main and main are fantastic.
Yep.
Even all the way down is really great. I honestly believe. But we have to start here with the main. Anthony Smith, Alexander Rakic. Is this too much too soon for Anthony Smith? I mean, we are only 4 months off the broken orbital bone and the massive damage in the 4th and 5th rounds with the Glover. Should have been stopped earlier, didn't, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows that narrative. Is this too soon for Anthony?
Well, again, his name is the Lionheart. This is what he is. This is who he is. This is what he does. Period. End of discussion. You look throughout the whole course of his career. He fights 3-4 times a year. It doesn't matter if he gets his ass kicked. Doesn't matter if he knocks someone out in the first round. It's 3 to 4 times a year. The guy loves to fight. He loves to do this. Yeah. This is what he was bred and born for. But do I think personally, as an MMA fan and someone who really loves Anthony Smith, do I think it's too soon? Do I think this fight should have been made maybe 3 more months down the road? Yes. I think it's a little too soon. I personally, just because he took so much damage against Glover Teixeira that, like, I just remember sitting there just being like, please stop the fight. Please stop the fight. Please. I mean, for 5 minutes.
Yeah. For 2 rounds.
Well, actually 2 rounds. Yeah. So more like 7, 8 minutes, So for me, I think this is a little too soon, but one thing with the Lionheart is he can definitely prove us wrong too at the same time. He could go out there and get a win against Rakic, you know? So personally, yes, but it is what it is, man. I mean, who am I? Who am I to tell him he can't fight?
Yeah, and if you ask him, he's going to be like, dude, I wanted to fight Fight Island.
Well, right. Well, if you're
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said that in an interview. He's like, I wanted to fight Fight Island. I was trying to get a Fight Island. They're like, no.
Right, yeah.
They're like, no, dude. Like, that's not happening. He goes, well, what about the Apex when you guys get back? Like, we'll talk. Made it happen. And the guy he's fighting, it's not like he's fighting just okay, let's get him a tune-up fight. No. Dude, Alexander Rakic, yes, he lost that split decision to Volkan Ozdemir, but Volkan Ozdemir is a top 5 light heavyweight in this division, possible title challenger.
Well, he knocked out Manuwa in 47 seconds before that.
The head kick?
Yeah.
He sent Manuwa to hell.
Yes, he did.
Dude, and that was Manuwa. He retired the man. He retired the man. He really did. He's like, man, that's enough. Yeah. I just can't take that. Well, there was a couple of vicious knockouts back-to-back for poor Manuwa, but even he was saying he wanted to make a comeback, but we're staying on Rakic. Rakic, I give him every single chance possible to beat Smith. I'm nervous for Anthony, dude. I'm really nervous with this fight because luckily it's only 3 rounds. It's because this was supposed to be originally Irene Aldana and Holly Holm.
Yes, it
fell
was.
through COVID. Irene Aldana came positive. So this is a 3-round main event. Interesting. Because it's 3-round, I think I give Smith a lot more of a chance to win it other than to be a 5th.
As do I. I am so glad this is not a 5-round main event. Yeah. And I think that's one of the elements to this, or one of the factors that you kind of gotta put into play here and go, okay, this is not a 5-round war. Even if it is a war, it'll be 3 rounds at most. So I'm a little bit more comfortable with the fact that Anthony Smith is fighting a 3-round fight than another 5-round.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Not to say he can't win this fight, because guess what? We'll get right into our picks. Ironically enough, even though all those things I just said, I love Lionheart. I think he'll come out. I think he'll shine against Rakic. I have him winning decision.
Okay. If Lionheart comes out exactly the same way he did against Glover, I'm taking Rakic. But that's a big if. I mean, because you got to remember that Glover fight, he came out in the first round and just blew his load instantly.
Like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, well, he almost finished Glover. We have to remember that fight could have been stopped then. He almost finishes him, blown his load trying to get the finish. Doesn't happen, and then gassed out in the second. Started losing since then. Interesting. If Smith can come out and be the technical fighter, which he almost has to be against a Rakic. If you go in and get into a war with Alexander Rakic, you're going to sleep. I think it's as easy as that. Alexander Rakic isn't making 185. Anthony Smith used to make it, so I think there might be a little bit of a size difference, maybe in thickness. They're the same height. We'll see. I'm going to take Rakic. No, I'm changing it, actually. For some reason, I thought they were going 5 rounds when I made my pick. I'm taking Smith decision as well, dude. I have to agree with you. If he comes out, I really think he could be the more technical striker. I think he'll find the way to land the crisper, cleaner shots and negate some of this damage. I think it'll be a complete 180 from his last fight. Hopefully. That's what I hope for, at least.
All right, let's talk about this co-main event in the welterweight division. Robbie Lawler versus Neil Magne. What a fight that this is, considering it has been made kind of last minute. Yeah. Robbie Lawler stepped in.
Remember, Neil Magne was supposed to fight Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal almost died in the hospital, so obviously that fight
went
got
septic
scrapped.
and everything, which I'm actually, Jeff Neal's a scary individual. Let's just put it that way.
Well, it took forever to make that fight. No one wanted to fucking fight him.
No, of course not. I mean, no one. You look at Jeff Neal and you look at his resume and you go, no, thank you. I'm good. Like, I don't need that in my life. I don't need this negativity.
Yeah, well, you'll read his nickname and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't need to
Hands of Steel.
I don't need to be sent to the Shadow Realm. I'm good, man. But what a replacement. Robbie Lawler stepping in last minute. And this is a fun fight. I'm excited about this one.
Very fun fight.
Yeah.
Very fun fight. I see this fight going to the distance.
Yeah,
either man can win, dude. So Robbie Lawler could separate anybody from their consciousness. Neil Magne looks like a completely new fighter in his last couple fights. Mm-hmm. So evolved. That 2 years he took off, I believe, something like
Best
that.
thing
18
for
months.
him.
Best thing for his career ever.
Yeah.
He looked like the brand new fighter, more evolved, more technical, more well-rounded. Is the best thing he could have done. This is a very interesting matchup for Robbie Lawler. If Robbie Lawler comes out like the marauder he is, I wouldn't be shocked if he got pieced up backwards by Neil. I wouldn't be shocked if Robbie Lawler pieced up Neil Magne. I wouldn't be shocked if Neil Magne took Robbie Lawler down and dominated him on the ground. I wouldn't be shocked if Robbie Lawler was good enough to keep it on the feet. So many different outcomes in this fight. It's a very hard fight for me to pick, but I'm going to go with Neil Magne, dude. I just think he looked so good after taking that 18 months off. It's just hard for me to not pick him, especially up against a Robbie Lawler who I love the guy to death. And I know he's only 30-something years old, but I really think the damage accumulation might be catching up with him. I think he might be on the tail end of his career.
Yeah, that could very well be the case. And, Robbie Lawler has been in a tremendous amount of wars. He's coming off 2 straight losses in 2019 to one Colby Covington and Ben Askren was the other one. That submission, which is questionable, whatever, yada, yada. I thought he was out. But
yeah, and he didn't take any damage in that fight.
No. But nonetheless, this is an intriguing matchup. I know he stepped in last minute, but I do kind of feel bad for Neil Magne because he has won in impressive fashion multiple times now since his comeback. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted him to get a top 10 guy, which he did in a guy of Jeff Neal.
Yes.
But now he's fighting Robbie Lawler coming off a 2-loss. But I think there's a lot at risk here and not much reward for Neil Magne. And those are dangerous situations for fighters when you don't have a whole lot to gain, but you have the world to lose. Mm-hmm. So for me, and because of those situations, I think Robbie Lawler will come out. I think he's just going to be a bat out of hell, honestly, in this fight because he really doesn't have anything to lose. As you said, you feel like he might be on the tail end of his career, which, given the evidence, very well could be. But keep in mind, he stood and banged with Colby Covington for 5 rounds too. Yeah. So it's not like, this guy does not deserve to be in the octagon. No, I think this is going to be just a very close fight, Tabor.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Robbie Lawler decision.
Okay. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a 3-round war, dude. I really think it will be. It's going to be a great fucking fight. It could be possible fight of the night. Everyone's going to asterisk that one for sure. So, next fight. Alexa Grasso is it Jan Klim? Jan Klim? Something like that. This is Alexa Grasso's first fight at 125. Remember, she missed weight bad in that was it Carla Esparza or was it another fight? No, it was after the Carla Esparza. She missed weight Carla Esparza fight and then had another fight scheduled. Missed weight so bad, fight got canceled. Now she's moving up. Interesting, because she's moving up against a girl who has only had 2 losses her whole career, and it seems like she's a completely dominant Brazilian jiu-jitsu savage and a very well-known fighter in herself because she's very good on the feet. This is a tough fight for Alexa Grasso's first fight at 125.
Kim just knocked out her last opponent in the second round, too, which is real hard to do with the flyweight divisions. So.
Yeah, not a lot of power. So, I mean, if you're getting finishes in that division, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. So, this is a rough fight for Alexa Grasso for her first fight back.
Kovacevic is who she fought before Esparza.
That's right. Yep, beat her. Yeah, Alexa Grasso is a very, very good talent coming out of Mexico. So, she's very good boxing. Pretty good jiu-jitsu as well. This is going to be a close fight. Like, you really could go with either girl. This is a pick 'em fight in my opinion.
Definitely.
I'm gonna just give you my pick. I'm gonna go with Kim UD just because I think she's gonna have every advantage on the ground, and I really think that's where this fight is going, is to the ground. And I think Kim just finds a way to either submit her, grind her out for three rounds, do something. But it's going down to the ground, and I do see Kim dominating.
Alrighty. I'm going to go with Alexa Grasso in this. I think she's a more well-rounded fighter. She has had her problems. Absolutely. There is no argument there on my side. But I just see her getting the job done. I think she's a better, more well-rounded fighter. I'm going to go Alexa Grasso decision.
Yeah. Ryan Hall
Ricardo Lamas fell out.
Through. That sucks. That's going to be a great fucking fight.
Dude. I love watching Ryan Hall. He's such a phenom, jiu-jitsu phenom, man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That Kenny Florian jiu-jitsu, they're fucking doing something right over there. Because, like, I don't know anybody from that gym other than Ryan Hall. And he's just a fucking savage.
Yeah, he is.
Can tap anybody.
Yep.
So, either way,
so
we're
we'll
getting
move
a great
on to
fight.
this one, though.
Yeah,
I'm freaking stoked for this. Magomed Ankalaev versus Ian Cutelaba. This is number 2,
This is like the 4th time we've talked about this fight.
Seriously.
4th or 5th.
It's crazy. How many times can we go through this damn fight before we finally just get a real one that's not called the worst and most egregious call I've ever seen in my life? I went back and rewatched that fight because it was on. I was scrolling through social media, and sometimes they pull on Facebook. The UFC page will just show you a fight and say, "Remember this fight?" And because it's only like 4 minutes, so I clicked on it and I watched it. And what's so baffling to me is Cutelaba throws a massive right hand, and then the ref calls it. And I'm like, what the it was such a weird, and yeah, he was doing the wobble thing, but it was like he was throwing with so much power that it's like, how do you call that?
Yeah.
And I get it. I think it was Kevin McDonald that was calling that. Sometimes it happens. It is what it is. But I'm hoping this time around they're not calling this fight early.
No.
But one thing you do know is someone going to sleep.
Someone's going to sleep. Someone's going to sleep. Yeah, for sure.
This fight's not going to the distance.
Yeah, I don't know what round. I mean, obviously I had to pick one, but someone's going to sleep. Ian Cutelaba is going to be fucking fuming from the ears. He's going to be pissed the fuck off. This fight got canceled twice, I think. Got moved a couple of times. It's finally happening, hopefully. Hopefully, just watch. Someone will get COVID. It'll get canceled again. Is Ian again?
Piss me off. They're like, tested positive again.
Fuck.
God dang it.
It's like, oh, fuck. So I'm just going to go to my pick, dude. I'm going to keep the consistent pick from every fight. It already got me 3 points this year. It was the shitty stoppage, but I shamelessly took those 3 points. I'm taking Ankalaev first round KO. I still think he's going to be the more dominant fighter. I will give every advantage and power and strength to Ian Cutelaba, but the technical skills I'm giving to Ankalaev, I think he's going to be the more technical fighter. We will see.
And I'm going to stay consistent in my pick, too, and I'm going to go Ian Cutelaba. I'm going to go second round KO. I think the first round is going to be a dog war, and either guy could go out in the first, but I kind of like the second. There's something about the second that I'm going to pick here, and I'm going to go Ian Cutelaba, second round KO.
Okay, we'll make this fight quick. Maki Pitolo, Impa Kasanagane. I don't know.
That was really close.
Kasanagane?
Yeah.
I tried.
There you go.
I've never heard of a name.
It's pretty good.
It's unique, and I like it.
Yes, it is.
Maki Pitolo, Coconut Bulbs, everyone knows him. He just got choked out just a couple of weeks ago by Darren Stewart, but he's a savage in himself. You know, it was a quick tab, didn't take any damage, so he's making a quick turnaround against a Contender Series guys who just fought on the 11th. What is that, 2 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. Just fought 2 weeks ago.
Well, that was his second fight on the Contender Series, too, because he actually won twice. He won on Season 2 and then came back for Season 3.
Yeah, and hadn't fought since that Season 2 fight.
Crazy.
So crazy. Just must have been training, and not taking any fights, not taking a risk, not undefeated, 7-0 against Maki, who's 13-6. Very interesting matchup. I have not seen this Kasanagi fight. I've only seen Coconut Bomb, so I have to go Coconut Bomb's third round KO. I just know he has so much power, even though he's not the biggest 185 ever. He reminds me of Kelvin Gastelum. He's the Hawaiian Kelvin. He's got those bombs.
I'm going to go with the undefeated Impa here. I'm gonna go decision. I think as you said, this is gonna be a close fight. I think it'll be a technical fight. But I see the undefeated guy just getting the job done, even though I have not seen any of his fights. But at this point, I am 49 points behind, so I just kind of got to pick. In a pick 'em fight like this, I just got to pick the opposite guy. So
yeah. Well, maybe that's been your downfall.
Well, you know what? Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Maybe I just hit this outro music and we just get the fuck out of here, Tabor.
It's a great way to end it.
Yeah, it is.
Another one, Mason.
Yes,
another
sir.
one. So, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. Hit us up, guys. We're posting funny memes. We're making you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube, too. We're almost to 100 subscribers. Be sure to check out our videos. Tabor's dropping clips every single day, or almost every day. We're doing a lot more on our YouTube channel, guys, so be sure to check that out. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen, and until next time.
Peace.